This brother Kapaya Yash. Back with a very quick, humorous lesson. And the title of this is If Jesus Had a Black Girlfriend. Now we know that his name, due to studying and listening to the elders, that his name is Yahweh Shai and Father Yahweh. And, our people have been deceived, through slavery, you know, and being discontinued from our heritage. We have took on that name Jesus. So, but anyway, um, Esau know our women. He know our women. I'm gonna play this skit, and like the title of it, if Jesus had a black girlfriend, right? Check this out. Go ahead and put this up. Fair use, fair use. And you gotta be very careful with, with YOU tube. Very, very, very sensitive to everything. They love giving out strikes with no, we're not even letting you get a chance to petition it. It's full of lies. But anyway, that's, that's Esau, small had a platform. They're going to do what they wish, just like we're going to do what we wish in the kingdom. So, bear with me 1 second.
With your disciples all the time. Why are they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week. You always with your disciples all the time. Why are they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week. You always with your disciples all the time. Why are they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week.
So Eve have a very, very smart mouth. And when her emotions kick over, she let it she let her emotion flow. She don't care how she responds. She don't care if she hurt anybody's feelings, you know, and and some of the brothers in the truth have a woman like this, you know. If she's antagonizing you over the truth, you need to let her go. She's not your woman. She's not for you. You know, uh, just like um, Lot wife. When the angels grabbed Lot and the children and her by the hand and guided them out of Sodom and Gomorrah, guess what? The so-called black woman, she, by her being emotional and loving this society, loving to travel, she loved to go to different places. She loved, to, uh, just like Eve today. She loved to travel, loved to go to different places, and she's not aware that danger is around the corner. Just like you have some men and women, and most of them women out there in those other countries, knowing that knowing that the world is all over the world is going through hell. There's war, but in Jake and Eve mind, especially Eve, let's go. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Again, going back to Lot wife, she looked back because she missed, her favorite spots, her favorite places to go, her friends, her family, and she didn't take heed, and she lost her life. Um, Job wife, you know, They pretty much damn near lost everything, right? And guess what? When that comfort zone, with that comfort leave that woman, she's gonna turn on you. She said, "Go ahead and curse the Lord." Now, when everything was straight, everything was good. You know, she was right there by his side, and doing what was told of her to do. But when shit hit the fan, she's mouthing off at you. She's against you. And also she's against the Lord. When she don't have it her way, her emotion is going to take. That's how she's wired. Her emotion is going to take over, and her emotion is what's going to get her unalive. Her emotion will get her in trouble. Her emotion would make a man go upside her head. You know, but you know, Esau, you know, hey, he'll get you black women to be on his side to go against us, and then he'll make mockery of you after he done did what he wanted with you to destroy the family, that unit. And now, he'll take these jobs away from it. Over 300,000 black women in corporate America was done away with because Esau came with the AI. You know, now he making mockery of you because he know you. He had you for a pet for a long time. When you came, signed that welfare and housing contract with him. Can't have a man in house. Take this money, take this housing. I give you, free education. Give you a little time. It ain't gonna be free, but I give you a little time to pay it off. Give a woman all that. At the end of the year, she get or you call tax money back on for your children, but you can't have a man in the house. It's a lock you. But this is just something that I wanted to put out there. This is even though it's by Mark Robertson, but this is funny. It's funny to me. So yeah, I'm going to end it right there. It was just something, just to, smile a little bit. That the whole world know you, Eve. They know your emotions. They know your actions. You know, they just know you. Period. You don't see no other race of nation of women do what the so-called black woman do, with her man. You know how so much she is against him. Argumentative, always in his face, can't tell her what to do. It's almost like pulling teeth with some of these women. You know, don't want to take accountability. Never, you never hear them, say I'm sorry. You know, excuse me. And if she do say I'm sorry because she don't want to go to jail, when she knows she was wrong, and there's video of her being in the wrong. So yeah, you know, you have become my enemy because you became Esau's best friend. But just look at what he, displaying about you. You know, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. Play this here a few more times, and that be it.
disciples all the time. Why they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week. You always with your disciples all the time. Why they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week. You always with your disciples all the time. Why they always following you anyway? They don't have families to go to? You never spend no time with me. I mean, you come in here smelling like dust and fish, then you gone before supper. I ain't seen you sit still for one meal with me all week.
Salakia. Let me throw in. Let me go here. Proverbs 21 and 19. It's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. And there's just Eve right there. You out there doing the work of the Lord, and it's like, yeah, I know I said I was going to end it right there, but I started thinking. I said, hold on, let me throw in some more verses, scriptures, So she's very contentious. Let's look it up. Contentious. Define contentious.
Contiguous.
Okay. Things that are physically touching, sharing a common border or adjacent in time or sequence. Let me see something else. Hold on. Maybe I looked at that wrong. Hold on. Yeah, my bad, Salakia. Contentious. I'm gonna have to spell that. Contentious. My bad. Salakia for that.
Contentious.
Salakia, contentious. People, attitude, or topic that are argumentative, quarrelsome, or likely to cause heated disputes. And that's our people. You have men do the same thing. But we talking about Eve. It's very argumentative. So again, Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a continuous and an angry woman. Let's go to Proverbs 9 and 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She's loud. She is simple and knoweth nothing. We're doing the work of the Lord. And by you being loud and continuous, argumentative, wondering why we haven't, wondering where have you been and why it took you so long and why you hanging out with the bros out there on the highway and byway, why you always doing lessons. She being foolish because we're doing the work of the Lord. She wants you to spend time with her. She wants you to do this and do that. She wired for attention, But which one come first? The work of the Lord. And you as the wife, you are his helper. You are his pillar of rest. And a lot of these women are not a pillar of rest because they are very what? Let's say it one more time.
Contentious.
Contentious. Again, contentious describes people attitude or topic that are argumentative, quarrelsome, or likely to cause heated dispute. And when you don't spend time with her, it's going to be a heated dispute with the women of today because, you know, they are protected. They have 911. They feel that they are equal to you, and they are not. Women of old, you know, they had they had some understanding to themselves that, you know, number one, with no 911, most definitely that. And during the time of King Solomon was ruling, you know, um, for as a man taking care of his business at home, he wasn't getting called, called out of his house and get sent to jail, you know, and getting beat up, by by the officers and stuff like that. No, a man took care of his business. You know, it tell you when a man get a wife, he get a possession. You do what you want with your possession, right? Like I said, and also like I said, not trying to be a tyrant. Just go beat you woman upside the head in time, you want and stuff like that. No, you don't do that. But it's just like whooping your children. Your children get out of line, guess what? You're going to whoop them too, right? So that they can act better. So during the time of King Solomon and Saul and all those kings of Israel, men could do that. And women back then didn't have the sources and the help that she have now. That's why they out of line right now. Talking back, want to withhold, sex from you and stuff like that. That's off. So I'm gonna end it right there. Hopefully it will edify. See you next video. Shalom.